Track Masters.
Yo, check them out, it's the new A5s, you gotta rock them. They even put a zone in the league to try to stop him. He's the answer and the problem, you don't want it with the way that boy go to the hole and take punishment. The young boss of the cross for 4 quarters, and from 3-point land, he's all water. Matter of fact, call him the king.
Georgetown
the way he breaks down the
UConn.
defense, it's like he got the ball on the string.
Coach John Thompson has won the Big East title 6 times. 23rd season overall. Jerome Williams, what an addition for the Hoyas this year. Harrington and Reed in the front court. Back court, John Jock and Allen Iverson, the Rookie of the Year in the league. Jim Calhoun at UConn in his 9th year. What a job he's done building this program. Allen, Knight, and Marshall, front court. Sheffer and Ali in the back court. And the officials for the first semifinal, Higgins, Valentine, and Cowell.
Jim, you know, we've talked at the beginning of the year, the Big East is back. Do you sense a little difference? I mean, we've been here for, you know, you can just feel the intensity. Exactly, and it has not been here for the last couple of years, but it's an entirely different situation. I can just, you know, different sense for the game.
I'd say the last 3 years, maybe even 4.
We've come in here on a Saturday and walked out of the arena and said, hey, you know, there was nothing to it. But I mean, I just, you know, noticed it here. It's just great to feel.
Intensity's back. And on the attack first, the UConn Huskies. 16-2 in conference play in the regular season. 24-3 overall.
Great, man. How about this Ray Allen Harrington? And he knows Harrington can't stay with him.
Fires it up. Ray Allen, unanimous choice on the all-league team.
And here's that pressure, 2-2-1 full court, and then dropping back in a man. Harrington bringing it up. Boy, are you talking about being out of position 2 plays in a row.
Jock to Reed.
Beautiful job there, went underneath the rim. Knight couldn't get to it.
Ali. Foul call. I'll tell you, that's one thing UConn will do to you, too. They'll beat you down to the other end of the floor in the transition game.
It was Reed on the layup and then Reed on the block as well.
I like the pass by John Jock here.
Excellent penetration on the move. A little crossover. Reed did a nice job creating the angle for him to go underneath, and then, of course, avoided Knight by using the rim.
Reed committed the foul at the other end, so Ali will shoot another one. Kevin Ali, the senior from Los Angeles, California.
Jim, there's one stat that jumps out at you when you look at these 2 teams. Georgetown turns the ball over 152 times more than they have assists, and Connecticut has 92+ assists to turnovers. You'd say there's no way these 2 teams can play each other.
Got that backcourt for UConn, the 2 top assist men in the league with Ali and Sheffer. And Sheffer almost makes the steal.
Ray Allen giving up size, but quickness he has.
Jock dribbled it right off his own knee, and Allen at the other end.
How about that dribble technique? He just laid it up there in his hand, dribbled high so that he could dunk right off it.
Well, there's an example, too, of the backcourt making turnovers for the Hoyas that you had spoke of just a moment ago.
Got some interesting matchups out here. Sheffer, a big guard, playing Williams, a very powerful forward. There you have Ali, one of the best against the dribble in the league, going up against Iverson.
Iverson blocked by Ali.
Great defense.
And Knight retrieves. Huskies in a hurry. Ali, pull up. It's off balance all the way. Now Jock wants to come out running. Ahead to Jerome Williams. Iverson skying overnight and not able to cash in. Foul against Georgetown.
How about the vertical leap by Allen Iverson among all the trees, went over everybody. We talk about his offensive prowess, but he was selected the defensive player of the year in the Big East. Of course, that follows other guys that have won that award named Ewing and Mourning, but they didn't play the guard spot.
Foul was on Iverson.
Nice.
Knight cutting to the hole. And Harrington.
Jim, one thing's obvious also right at the start of the game. The referees are going to let these teams play.
Iverson in a jam, back to Harrington. Action fast and furious underneath as Harrington, after being blocked once, scores on the next one. Right back to Knight, and one.
Boy, there's nothing better than a game that goes from the inside back outside and then a quick dish inside again. The defense just didn't have a chance to adjust. Donnie Marshall out, Sheffer in, Knight offset. Perfect passing.
Foul on Arrington.
And one of the reasons, again, that this team has about 62% of its field goals created by an assist, which is terrific. That was in twice, Tim.
7-4 UConn. Sure looked good. Iverson driving baseline. And Knight pulls it down. Sheffer now. Looking ahead, bypasses Holly, then goes to Allen with the left hand.
Sensational drive.
Holly almost stole it.
We got 5 on 4 now because Ollie's hurt down on the other end of the bench.
And one at the other end. Ollie's going to be okay.
He took a lick on the table, Jim, as he turned over backwards, but he's back. Watch how he hits on his back. Tremendous effort here. Bangs, and there you see. You see right on the edge of the table. Stunned him for a second. Down, but not out. Outstanding ball handler and leader for this Connecticut team. Of course, the last time we had Othello Harrington, Jim, sensational game against Syracuse. Really his coming out party this year.
4 rebounds for Knight in the first 3 minutes.
Bubakar in the ball game. That's a good matchup against Ray Allen.
Bubakar, number 22 for Georgetown. 3-second violation against the Huskies. There's Bubakar. He can handle the ball, Billy. He's really improved as the season's progressed.
Nice job by Iverson, making the defense come to him and anticipating the trap instead of dribbling into it.
3 seconds at the other end. All right, haven't seen many of those called all season long.
First time, I guarantee you, that's the first time back-to-back 3-second calls on 2 possessions been called this year in college basketball.
You have
I have not seen.
Okay.
I have not seen every game. I'm going to bet my whole house on it. Since I'm now a renter.
Yeah, you don't have a house right now. You just sold it. What are you talking about?
Well,
try.
Well, I'll bet a car on it.
Okay.
Boy, has he improved, Jim. Even though he missed that shot. And here comes the whirlwind. Look out. Iverson. Oh.
9-8 Huskies.
Nice step in. Ball was not on the way down. So
Behind the back, Iverson, the shake 3. And the trailer scores. Bubakar
Iverson got back by with a dangerous pass. A much simpler way to get that ball on a 3-on-1 break.
Ray Allen said, hey, no hand check.
Yep. Good move by Ray Allen to do that.
And look at that move.
You know, that's a good way to get attention of the referee, to slap that hand away.
Foul called on John Jock.
And Jim, one of the reasons why there's such great enthusiasm in the league is the style of play. There was that step in by Marshall, ball on the way up. Good no call by the official, and Harrington gets it and starts the break. And Allen Iverson said, now you see it, now you don't. Here I come. And watch this pass. See, that was a dangerous pass.
Ray Allen with 8. Huskies by 1. Huskies with 8 of their 11 from Ray Allen. They have possession and the 1-point lead.
And a 1-2-1 press by Georgetown, giving Connecticut some of their own. And they stay with it in the half-court set.
Huskies have brought in Eric Hayward, number 45.
And Hayward had the big game against Georgetown earlier this year. 16 minutes, 11 points.
Pepper, air ball.
He's saying it's my fault. Didn't want that shot. Now we see a different alignment for a press. A 2-2-1. Georgetown used a 1-2-1-1. Wow, dangerous pass, wasn't it, Jim?
Got away with
You
it.
just cannot be careless, and that's why they have such a bad assist-turnover ratio. You never throw a one-handed pass out in that area. Connecticut goes zone. 2-1-2, Hayward in the middle.
Allen with the long rebound. He's the second leading rebounder. Ray Allen, 6'5".
Williams on Allen. Let's see if they can get Allen in position to make the drive.
Shepard's pass knocked away by Reed and picked up by the Hoyas. Misfiring, and Hayward snaps it out to Ali. Cross court to Allen. Allen pull up three. Last touch. Oh, it looked like it was last touch by UConn, but they said the Huskies still have it. Church coming in for the Hoyas. Recent Big East champions. Well, you remember last year Providence made that magnificent run through here.
You know, it's hard to believe Georgetown hasn't been since '89. I mean, you just don't think they're always in the hunt. That's a long time.
Ryan Fair, instant offense off the bench for UConn, 31. Number 31 comes in, averaging 10 a game off the bench.
Hit Church's foot last. I don't know if he was out of bounds when it hit him, though.
Going to Georgetown.
Illinois over Ohio State. Not a real factor game there.
Illinois in the tournament, Billy?
It's going to be tight. I'm anxious to see what they do with the Big Ten. Ranked 6th in the power rating of conferences this year. How do they get the most teams?
Harrington taking a long baseliner, misfiring. That's a 9-8 team in conference play, Illinois. Here's Fair, three. There he is.
Jim, an excellent substitution here by Jim Calhoun to get some perimeter shooting on the floor.
At the other end. 6 points off the bench for all.
You've probably seen more offensive fast break by Georgetown so far in this game than we used to see in a whole year.
Now back in a zone, the Hoyas.
Yep.
And Marshall shot blocked by Harrington. Here's a guy, big guy who can handle it. 6'9", Jerome Williams. Dishing to Awe. 8-footer short. Harrington right there, however. And he'll go to the line for a couple.
Jim, you can imagine for Harrington what a transition this style had to be for him. You know, last year they would post up, and the time he got to Georgetown, he's primarily a low post player. They would walk the ball down the court, play a half-court set all the time. He just keep backing you around. Now he has to get from top of the key to the top of the key. It probably hurt his stats this year, but certainly will improve him in the long run as a basketball player.
Eric Hayward whistled for that last one. Got to learn that style of play at the next level.
Exactly, and he's starting to do that now.
John Reed has returned for the Hoyas. Here's what you're talking about, Billy. You know, as a freshman, averaged almost 17 a game and 9 rebounds. This year, 11 and 5.
But you know, Patrick and Alonzo didn't exactly have stats that would put you on the All-American team. Was the other things that they did.
Kirk King, 32, is in for the Huskies.
Nice move by Fair.
Fair with now 5 off the bench.
There was a case where Church playing the perimeter of the zone, you got to still play as if it's a man-to-man principle. He allowed Fair to go right by him.
And a reach-in steal by Fair, and they overlap him.
Ali never had the angle for that pass.
Ali out, Sheffer in.
It's really nice when you can come back and come in off the bench with a senior guard like Fair with all his experience. He's got a role to play, and there they go. They stay back in that 2-1-2 zone, and a lot of times Georgetown has beaten them down court, so we never saw what the half court would look like defensively.
Williams, King was there defensively. It'll still be Georgetown ball. Harrington so far was 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks. And Georgetown with all 5 starters on the floor. Huskies have inserted for the first time Rudy Johnson, number 23, in the white uniform. Allen Iverson with the ball. He has not made a shot from the field, Billy. He's 0 for 6 so far.
That won't slow him down. He'll keep firing.
Harrington's hot. And the ball knocked loose and a foul called against UConn's Kirk King.
Well, they've got King, Johnson, and Hayward in there, so an entirely different front line than what started. Connecticut deep in that area.
They say that was a shooting situation, so Harrington will shoot a couple. We're talking about Othello getting acclimated to this new style at Georgetown. Yesterday, after the win against Miami, John Thompson was joking that at halftime the team stood up and clapped when they got into the locker room and welcomed Othello back from his sabbatical.
Well, I tell you, I wonder what they did up at Syracuse, because that was a game where he played of all-American caliber.
At 27 in that game.
Yesterday, good stats, 29 minutes, 17 points, 8 rebounds. Very solid performance.
Travis Knight back in. Kevin Millen, 32, bouncing in off the bench for Harrington.
Now let's see what's going to happen size-wise. This very quick team that Georgetown has in the game. Millen, Williams. There they go.
Last touch by Georgetown.
I said it was a quick team, and you find Johnson out here trying to handle the ball against that quickness. And Johnson going to sit, Jim. You can see right there, he has no business with the ball out, and they were lucky it wasn't a turnover and a basket.
Had to lob it to Marshall. They say last touch by the Hoyas.
I tell you, Connecticut, for all of the good judgments they normally make, are trying some passes that are home run type shots, as opposed to the way they solidly handle the ball on normal occasions. That's a walk.
And they call it a tie-up situation. Instead, the arrow belongs to Georgetown.
Well, Georgetown would have gotten the ball anyway on the travel, but this way they lost one arrow. I thought that was a walk when Fair went to the ground with the ball, automatic.
Othello back in for Kevin Millen, who was in only for about a minute.
I have a feeling Iverson wants to get one, Jim.
Iverson matched his career high yesterday with 31 in the win against Miami. Here he is. Iverson. There he scores for the first time.
Yep, you had a feeling it'd come. See, there's another case where Connecticut throwing passes you don't normally see from this club.
Hoyas with the lead and possession.
Maybe misjudging Georgetown's quickness. But they've played them before, they should be aware. Now Connecticut takes their zone back in. Going to force some perimeter shooting.
Jock.
Nice move by Jim Calhoun there. Wants to see if they can make an outside shot. Georgetown not good from the perimeter. As a team only shooting 29% from 3. Harrington again, the mismatch, gets stuck with Shepard. Now switches back to Donnie Marshall.
Under 10 on the shot. And Fair will fire it. Williams high for a rebound. Williams gives them almost 10 rebounds a game.
There's a case. Harrington on the break.
They call it a charge against Harrington. His second.
But Jim, that is something that he never did before. He used to run straight up and down the court. Now watch him fill the lane on this play and then take it to the hole.
Johnny Marshall, a great position there, holding his ground and drawing the second against Harrington. Millen back in.
And as a passer, you have to know who you're throwing the ball to. It really wasn't fair to give Harrington the ball that far away from the basket and make him make that four-dribble move to the hoop.
Bounce pass inside the Knight. He was hanging out on the baseline, and Ollie spotted him. Iverson.
Should not be a shooting foul.
Against Ollie.
This is Kevin Ollie's type ball handling, Jim, as opposed to what we've seen earlier in the game into Knight. Again, how many guys are using that rim now to shield off the defender? It's an excellent play.
Ali committing his first fourth-team foul, and again, it was not a shooting situation. Williams out for Georgetown. Ellington back into the game.
Now, when you look at this ball club, Foley Jocks is a guy that you'd want to take an outside jumper here. Iverson just likes to penetrate.
Dillon.
They'll give him that shot all day.
And a long rebound off the three gives UConn the numbers with Marshall rattling it out. Right back to him, though. No foul. Reed right off the back of Harrington, and helter-skelter play. Foul called on Shepard.
Donnie Marshall can't believe he missed that layup.
The winner of this game will play the winner of Game 2 today, which will have Providence against Villanova. Providence trying to play its way into the NCAA field.
Well, Jim, they've got themselves a shot. 2 weeks ago, we'd have said there was no chance for Providence, but they're on a nice roll now. 3 straight wins against teams that have been ranked. You see that zone. Ray Allen didn't realize the defense they're in.
Carr all back in for Georgetown. 18 with 9 to go first half. There was a dangerous pass. Allen. Ooh.
It's nice to be able to know you can finish with a dunk.
Iverson. Boy, he can answer so quickly.
Oh. There has not been a player with that kind of quickness and that kind of leaping ability to be able to have the skills he has in college basketball in my memory.
How about that quickness? Reaching in, Shepard, uncontested. Oh! Ali, though, follows it up. 22-20 UConn.
2 misses, Donnie Marshall's layup, and then Shepard's. Check the defense. Man-to-man. Well, now they're back to his zone. They're showing a lot of different looks here.
Harrington, after some nifty moves, back out to Iverson.
Not a good shot. Jim, Allen Iverson shooting 39% on the year. There was Ray Allen's stuff. Boy, was he in the air, huh?
Way up there. Back at the Garden, Georgetown and UConn. And the Hoyas only shooting 32%. Ray Allen 10 points, 5 of 7 from the field. Yesterday, the Hoyas played in the noon game. They held Miami to 15 points in the first half on 5 of 30 shooting. The 15 points, the lowest in the history of this tournament, in one half.
There's that 2-1-2 full court pressure.
Allen, 3. 6 of 8 now from the field for Ray Allen.
Jim, one of the premier players in the country, off to a solid start here today. Here's a 1-3-1 half-court trap. Both teams showing a lot of different defensive looks.
Pressure in the corner.
Triple team.
Williams gets it out. Jock way up with that one. Long rebound to Iverson. Slicing through.
Gets his
it.
own.
Yeah, something else, isn't it? And now Donnie Marshall. Ollie. Timeout was called by Travis Knight, but not in time.
Now, Jim, remember the time that they fell down before and lost the arrow?
You don't think that one was walking?
No, that was not walking.
The last time, Fair skidded on the ground.
Exactly.
They didn't call it. Well, they call a traveling violation this time. Huskies 25-20. All right, Pat, thank you. We'll look forward to that. Now, UConn, let's straighten that last call out, Billy. They did, in fact, say that Knight called timeout before any kind of violation. So it was a timeout charge to the Huskies, and they maintained possession. Allen, he is on fire. 27-20 Huskies. He has 15 of their 27.
Jim, the guy that's been the difference in the game. He's the only person that's taken good shots today and shown some from the perimeter. Here's that half-court trap again by Connecticut. Donnie Marshall out front with Ray Allen. Those are big wing people. Good anticipation.
Traveling.
Delayed call there.
Georgetown has made only 3 of its last 16 from the field.
I'm surprised that when Iverson's on the perimeter like that, that people rush out at him. You know he's got explosive speed. You know he's shooting under 30% from 3. Let him take the jump shot.
Iverson today, only 2 out of 11, Billy, from the field.
Well, we saw him in his very first game. He's never been bashful, Jim, so you can expect that he's going to keep putting them up, and John Thompson has given him that liberty. Ali tried to go 1 dribble too far.
Williams, right back to him. Iverson smartly throwing it right back to Jerome Williams. Ali at the other end. And they go to the line for 2. Tomorrow, Billy, not only do we have the Big East Championship game, but the Big Ten swings into gear here on CBS at noon Eastern Time. Michigan against Purdue.
And when you think about Purdue, Jim, it's time that I think all of us that follow college basketball start talking about Gene Cady as one of the nation's great coaches. I mean, losing Glenn Robinson, everybody picked him middle of the pack in the Big Ten, put him right back in there in a solid position again.
To win the Big Ten this year, some accomplishment.
It really is.
Ryan Fair is back in for UConn.
And of course, that win by Iowa, Jim, and I know that you're a guy that loves the bubble situations. Did that win over Michigan State by Iowa put them in?
No, I don't think so. I think they've got to beat Indiana tomorrow.
At Indiana. Does an Indiana loss put them out?
No, they're in.
Okay. That's over. Tell the committee to relax.
Yep. Take a coffee break. Last foul, by the way, committed by Boubacar Al.
Check the defense a little bit different now. A diamond press.
There was a 10-second count. You can look up on the shot clock, Billy, and see it was at 24, and they had not crossed the midcourt stripe.
If you ever watch Connecticut practice, they put in so many different presses. Let's see. 27, 26.
That's 10 right
Boom,
there.
he's got it.
Yep.
Right on the money, but I think that different look, that's a push by Allen. He pushed Iverson right to the ground.
Second on Ollie.
But Jim, that different look of the press, you know, they've been going 2-2-1, and then they showed the diamond there, and it really confused Georgetown with the 2 big men in the backcourt trying to get it over. Now they go back to the 2-1-2 zone.
Ball, Jerry Nichols, freshman from Jackson, Mississippi, number 25 for Georgetown. Iverson inside. KO. What a knockout of a move.
They just don't have a way of stopping Iverson from getting that running start with his dribble. Another, As I said, he was, what, 2 for 11? Well, keep throwing him up there. Interestingly, yesterday you mentioned about his day with the 31 points. It's the first time John Thompson's ever had a player score over 30 in a Big East tournament game. We've had some quality players at Georgetown over the years.
Rudy Johnson in for UConn along with Knight and Sheffer as Ali goes out, along with Nantembo, Willingham, Ray Allen. All 3 of them sit. Willingham was in there only for a couple of minutes, or a couple of series, I should say.
Well, both teams have gone basically down their benches to 10 deep in this game.
Harrington returns. Marshall will shoot another one.
Donnie led the Big East Conference this year in free throw shooting. Very unusual to see a forward do that. Last big man I can remember leading a conference was Christian Laettner when he led the ACC in foul shooting percentage.
Hold against UConn. The Huskies were looking for the traveling violation. First against Marshall. Actually, they called that one unfair. Tomorrow, the selection show right here on CBS, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Expanded 1-hour edition coming your way. We're going to take the subway this year.
Take the subway, always interesting to, I don't think you want to go ahead and let people know that ahead of time, Jim. It's kind of like fade down in there, yeah. And then get off when you get off. Get your blazer off. You know,
quietly go about it, huh?
Yeah, just go about your business, right. You don't advertise you're going in the subway.
Used to take you there in the stretch of limo.
Well, what an addition Williams has been to Georgetown. When he was recruited out of junior college, nobody got that excited, but this young man is a fine player.
Coach Thompson told me yesterday found him in the summer leagues. He was 6'3" as a senior in high school, and there's a turnover committed by the Huskies.
And Jim Calhoun turns beet red over there as he says to Donnie and screams at him. Look at the complexion. All the blood rushed right to the head. He said, just catch the ball. Good advice. People are trying to make plays against the press as opposed to being fundamentally sound.
And a hack on the arm against the Huskies.
Very difficult to double team an Iverson, even if he's lost his dribble, because he is so quick and can elevate so quickly to get out of the double team trap.
Reed returns. They call that foul on Rudy Johnson. Iverson at the line of 1-1. Ray Allen with 15 in the first half. He has matched Miami's first half total of yesterday against Georgetown.
Well, I said they went 10 deep on both teams. That's what, 37 substitutions in a half?
Still have 4 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the half.
And let's see what kind of press Georgetown uses if Iverson can make this free throw.
Iverson, because of his penetration, averages 8 free throw attempts a game. And yesterday, he attempted 23, which was a Big East tournament record.
He's been to that line, Jim, this year 220 times. It's incredible. Clear out for Sheffer.
Oh, he traveled.
Oh, I didn't see that. Wow, did you see walking?
I did not.
Let's see this play. Where does the walk come in? That's not even close to a walk. Wow, that was a bad call there. We don't normally say that, but that wasn't even close.
33-29 Connecticut. Iverson. Ooh, what a try for the save by Millen.
He's over the press row. That's how far Millen goes to chase this ball down. No fear at all. He's 3 rows back.
Kevin Ollie into the lineup for Coach Calhoun.
Full court man-to-man. The conference's best defender against one of the conference's best ball handlers there. Sheffer trying to post Iverson up inside. Smart play by Allen. Things confused. Pull it back out.
Sheffer tonight. Good dish. Marshall pops it outside. Wide open. This is his favorite shot. Allen long with it.
A lot of contact.
You sense, we've watched this Connecticut team play on several occasions this season, Billy. Do you sense this team is playing as well as we witnessed in their game against, say, St. John's on January 8th?
No, I really don't. You know, Jim, I think a couple of losses took away a lot of confidence in this team, particularly going out to the Kansas game. They could have figured, well, you know, nobody could beat us like that, which is what they said. But then Villanova came into their house and really destroyed the myth that Connecticut was heads and shoulders above everybody else. And I don't think they're playing with the same confidence. Not the crisp passing that we used to see.
Push off called.
That's Sheffer, isn't it?
I
think that was Sheffer. I think that the
called it on Donnie Marshall.
Oh, Donnie. Both were in the area. Marshall's asking the referee, said, hey, I'm just trying to go through.
Still a 1-1 at the other end. No, it's kind of like a boxer who's been knocked to the canvas, and it's a staggering blow. It stunned them, and they don't quite have their feet back or their legs back yet. They're just not on solid foundation. It's hard to say that about a team that's 24-3.
Well, the other thing, too, Jim, may be their opponents. Connecticut was getting some mystique about them in terms of their press and their great ball handling ability. And sometimes your opponents start accepting the fact that you're an unbeatable club. But certainly those two games changed that philosophy all the way around. But they still have done something nobody else has done in the Big East, win 2 back-to-back regular season titles. So it's been a great year again for them.
7-point lead has dwindled to 2 with 2:30 to go in the half.
Ray Allen needs to take him in the middle.
Ali. Over the back on Allen. And they'll shoot 2 at the other end. That's now 10 team fouls against the Huskies, the first on Allen. Georgetown has won this tournament 6 times. Syracuse eliminated last night in overtime by Providence. St. John's in the play-in game Thursday night was knocked out. So was Seton Hall.
How about Providence? They've only been to the final game 1 time in their history in the Big East, but they were able to win it last year. And I'll tell you another wild one about this conference, Jim. 15 years they got a postseason tournament, and only 5 times as the #1 seed won the tournament. That's very unusual.
One more for Jerry Nichols. 1 point Connecticut advantage. Iverson and
nice
Sheffer.
And
he got him that time. And look at that one. Boy, that would have been some shot had it dropped.
Boy, Sheffer made a great move on Iverson with a crossover dribble and then just tried one too many. And that's why this young man who set the season's high ever at Georgetown for steals and is the Big East Defensive Player of the Year. And look at the shot he tries to finish with. And he is a special player.
Again, Iverson lived at the line yesterday. 23 attempts. And he'll have another one.
Just a 70% free throw shooter. Should be up in the 80s.
This is his 6th free throw try of the game.
Jim, you realize what it would do for Georgetown if this young man could get that free throw shooting up into the, the high 80s. You're talking about points, the difference, because he's going to go to the line a lot, and the difference of probably 3 or 4 games a year for this team. All the close games go their way. The Connecticut loss in the Cap Center would have been all theirs with better free throw shooting.
Another steal by the Hoyas. Millen this time. Iverson slicing and scoring. Georgetown in front, 36-33.
Again, sloppy ball handling from a team that really has had a great assist-turnover ratio. Two run for Georgetown.
Sheffer blocked by Reed.
Again, Connecticut trying one dribble too many. They're getting caught in traffic.
Millen tipped up once. And still Georgetown ball. 1:22 to go in the half. And at the half, Pennzoil at the half with Pat O'Brien. Across town, joined by Quinn Buckner and George Raveling. Scores and highlights.
George Raveling, maybe give us an update on that major issue in the Pac-10, Jim.
With Arizona.
Yeah.
Church, 3-point try long.
Iverson fell down, but they couldn't get the ball down the fair.
UConn has missed its last 5 from the field. Now with a minute to go in the half. Millen whistled for that one. Millen, a senior out of Memphis, Tennessee, one of the sub-sites in the tournament next week.
Had a chance to go home when Georgetown played their opening game against Arkansas, which we had.
In the pyramid, Hayward back, Knight sits.
How about Arkansas, Jim? Struggling game again yesterday against Vanderbilt. Right now, they're tied at halftime with Alabama. They just have not been able to explode and blow people away as was anticipated before this season started.
Boubacar Ow in for Millen, one more for Marshall. Marshall hasn't made one from the field. He's 0 for 5 from the field.
I think that Connecticut, if they could go back and spend time in the locker room, which they won't be able to do, looking at a tape of this first half, would realize how they've penetrated a little bit too much, one extra dribble, and took away what would have been an easy shot and made it difficult. You know how active Georgetown is defensively. You're not going to get layups against them. And here's that diamond look again. Remember the last time it worked effectively for Connecticut.
He's had a nice game off the bench with 8. Three-point Georgetown lead.
And some great defense in this first half by Georgetown. Haven't been giving up any easy shots.
Marshall, that's his first shot from the field to drop. Good jumper. Final 20 seconds, 38-37 Georgetown.
And they stay in the diamond trap. Hayward down on the baseline.
Whistle away from the ball.
Marshall better be careful. Don't want a technical here, particularly when you're going to get possession of the ball.
So in the double bonus, 2 at the line.
And without question, Jim, that was a hand check. He might not have liked it.
Knight for Rudy Johnson. Boubacar Ow at the line from Senegal. Coach Thompson told me yesterday he reminds me a lot of Dikembe. Sometimes when we're out there practicing, he doesn't quite understand basketball slang, but he has a lot of pride, and he always shakes his head as though he understands what I'm talking about, but that's not always the case.
But Jim, you know, he had his coming out game with that 17 points and 6 rebounds against Connecticut at the Cap Center, and was really starting to come on as a scorer. And then surprisingly in the St. John's game that Georgetown lost, he did not score. Going to be a solid performer for Georgetown. He shoots those rainbow foul shots.
Just a freshman, and he has 10 off the bench. Allen could tie it right here. Shepard follow up with a 2 and 1.
That's a strange way to get a three-point play, huh? Allen had the wide open jumper. Shepard at 6'4½". Pretty good offensive rebounder for a guard. And there he is, right among the big guys. Comes down and puts it right back up. Nice play. One of the few wide open jump shots that Connecticut has had all day. And there's his ability to go in and rebound from the guard position.
Foul on Church. They don't tie it. Final seconds now of the half. Get a good one off Nichols. No. Well, that's the end of the first half, and a good one here at the Garden. The score, Georgetown 40, Connecticut 39. Pat O'Brien, Quinn Buckner, and George Raveling will be along from our New York studio with Pennzoil at the half. After this message and a word from your local station. They come out for the second half, trailing by 1, 40-39. And the Huskies uncharacteristically turning it over a bunch of times in that first half.
They really are, Jim, particularly from the guys that you wouldn't expect. In the fact of Sheffer in the backcourt, Ali has been pretty good, but Fair's had 5 turnovers. So they have got to get their backcourt delivering the ball to the right people.
Let's take a look at the first half numbers. And UConn shooting 43%, out shooting Georgetown. But Ray Allen, 7 out of 11. The rest of the team only 33%. Georgetown bench yesterday did not score. Boubacar Al has 10 alone in the first half off the bench.
11-5 bench scoring because of that 10 by Al. Georgetown's favor, obviously.
Allen gives the Huskies the 41-40 advantage.
Allen and Iverson both had the same number of points, but Allen, of course, with his shooting in the first half, 7-11, was much more efficient. And there's the zone by Connecticut. I think this is a good move by Jim Calhoun to go ahead and pack things in and force Georgetown to show they can score from the outside.
Harrington thought he had a good move, but they called him for traveling.
And what he did is he came to the jump stop, then you don't have the right to make a move off of that play. Excellent call. Back to man-to-man goes Georgetown. Williams on Ray Allen. Allen too quick for him. If he can get him on the perimeter.
Turnover. 14th of the game.
At the top of the show, you said Knight would have to play big. And he has not done that today. I think that he has been pushed around on the inside. Really has lacked concentration. He should have caught that ball.
4 points, 5 rebounds in the first half. And the Huskies force one right back. Sheffer pull up Jay. And Iverson to the middle.
Knight got a piece of that at the end on the way up. Not a goaltend. It's amazing how fast Iverson can get, you know, the first like 10 yards when he dribbles the ball. He got that rebound over Donnie Marshall, and before you knew it, he was already out at the top of the key. Those first 2 or 3 dribbles of his are full speed. It's incredible.
Foul on Ray Allen, his second. Iverson 7 times this season the Big East Rookie of the Week, which is a new league mark, breaking the record of 6 held by Lawrence Moten. Moten played his final game in the Big East last night here in the overtime loss to Providence, but Syracuse still with the NCAAs ahead.
And obviously Iverson, with those awards, gets selected as the Rookie of the Year in the Big East.
Unanimous.
Yep. A lot of talk about Felipe Lopez before the season started, but Iverson was the man without question. And now Georgetown goes into their zone.
Sheffer 3.
Neither team showing anything from the perimeter today, and on he comes again.
Right back.
He doesn't worry.
Jock forced the steal.
I have never seen a Connecticut team with these backcourt players throw as many passes that are really not warranted.
44-41 Georgetown.
Tough shot.
Rejected by Reed. Sheffer. And one.
And there's a case for young players of why you have to be able to develop your left and right hand. Sheffer had no chance. You'll watch this right here. Marshall goes up. Great putback by Reed. Now watch Sheffer comes in. If he only has the right hand, he cannot make the play because the block would have been there. By moving to the left, he gets a basket and a foul. Nice play.
Second whistle on Reed. Sheffer, who has an older brother and his father in attendance here today. Over from Israel. Watch Jerome. 3-point play. Ties it 44.
Of course, he ended up in Connecticut with his father, coming over here to visit various campuses, and settled on Connecticut, as did Nadav Hennefeld. They want a double dribble on Iverson, but he kept the ball alive.
3-on-2. Now on Reed now, it's his third. Here's the all Big East rookie team. Hamilton and Lopez from St. John's. Iverson, unanimous Rookie of the Year. Kevin Norris, the guard from Miami. And Williams from Seton Hall.
Solid recruiting year last year by the Big East. And some people probably wonder why Williams is on that. That's for freshmen only. Even even though he's basically a rookie in the league. He comes in as a junior college player. Obviously would have been on there. It's not a newcomers team, it's a rookie team.
Reed with 2 quick fouls, 3 in all. Now on the bench. Kevin Ollie, who knocked down some big free throws down the stretch in the second regular season win against Georgetown.
Here he comes. Thought Iverson was going to try to explode right in the middle of that zone. It's a nice subtle move that John Thompson has done against zones with Iverson. He moves him out on the wing instead of playing the point. Uses all up on the point.
All dishes. Harrington. Well done.
Nice decision by All. Smart play.
Knight. Kind of moves he's going to make here. Hold call first on Othello.
There's that All Big East first team, Jim. Abrams with an outstanding game here last evening. Allen, Kittles player of the year, of course. Moten, who you mentioned, playing his last game. John Wallace and Eric Williams, who we'll see in the next game.
By the way, that last call on Urban Church, not Harrington.
Georgetown showed the zone just one time down the floor. Iverson with a steal. Almost.
Hayward working hard for the 2.
Big bodies work well against Georgetown.
Urban Church. On the arm.
You know, Jim, we've seen it time and time again where Connecticut has driven into the teeth of Georgetown's defense, and that's what's causing these turnovers. I don't know why they want to keep challenging the pressure that Georgetown has on the inside, particularly between the dotted line and the foul line. Hayward on a push. Iverson on a good act.
Hayward second.
The other thing that the players ought to start realizing, that this officiating team is really calling hand checking. So number 1, get your hands off the guy with the ball. Number 2, if you're the dribbler, try to penetrate.
Look at that follow-up. Harrington, 2 more. He has 12.
And a solid tournament being put in here by Harrington. Trying to work on it. He walked.
Yeah, a couple of times. And a timeout under 16. 50-47 Hoyas over the number 1 seed. Well, the Big East with 4 teams in the top 25, matching the ACC, Pac-10, Big 8, and SEC.
Jim, I'll tell you the one that jumps out at me there. The Metro Conference is not listed with any team in the top 25. There's Harrington again. And yet they're ranked as the 3rd best conference on the RPI index. That doesn't seem to be in sync.
Knight way out there.
Nice solid jump shot.
52-49 Georgetown. For a moment had its largest lead, a 5-point advantage. Knight answered with 2 at the other end.
Here's a 1-3-1 zone. Sheffer running the baseline. It's been about 7 or 8 different defenses by these 2 teams today, counting the presses and the half-court sets. There's Iverson playing out on the point. I said that they've moved him to the wing.
In traffic. 1 second on the shot clock. Boubacar.
Now having another big game.
Boy, is he.
Almost everything he's done has been positive today.
He has 12 points.
And he's guarding Ray Allen. So quick on his feet.
Over the top.
Look at him move those feet.
Allen, one-handed.
Allen reverses on him.
19 for Ray Allen. Long to Williams.
that was one that Harrington has got to put away.
Last touch by Ray Allen.
Right now we see Georgetown kind of pounded them on the boards, Jim. One of the things, if there is a weakness on this Connecticut team, is that people take them inside. We saw that happen in Kansas. Ostertag and Pollard and the Prince. Another offensive rebound. Ow. Another offensive rebound.
And Harrington cashes in. And right there was the sequence that really the critics of UConn say that's their shortcoming.
Exactly.
Just not enough big bodies inside.
There were 4. Oh, there's a great play by Iverson, and it's Georgetown ball.
Georgetown up 5 with possession.
There was a case for the incredible quickness of Allen Iverson and what made him the Big East Defender of the Year. Now watch this play. Not only great quickness, but a smart play as he threw it off Sheffer's leg. Sheffer may not be used to that play because an international ball, you can't do that.
A heck of a point, Billy.
Yep.
16 offensive rebounds in the game for the Hoyas.
There's that set again with all playing out at the point. Another offensive rebound.
Right away from Marshall, and a 7-point lead. Largest of the game for Georgetown.
A warning to Williams. He smacked the ball as Knight was going to get ready to put it into play. That should be a warning to both teams now. I don't think the officials handle that properly. Next guy, technical foul.
Hold on. Ow.
And hand checking.
It was the 17th offensive rebound, the one that Church ripped away.
Incredible. 17 offensive rebounds, so it's a differential of 7 there, plus the way Connecticut is throwing the ball away is costing them.
Sheffer will take it. UConn really accustomed to being in this position, being behind. They've specialized in comebacks this year. No call. Iverson rejected by Knight. Sheffer comes out of the pack and held first by Church.
We're starting to see some competitiveness coming out of Sheffer. You know, he never does much verbally, but he is starting now to really play hard-nosed basketball. And that's where his international experience helps. Get a lot of banging over there.
Ryan Fair in for Connecticut. And timeout called by Georgetown. They were about 30 seconds away on the game clock from an official's timeout, but they lead by 5. Big stat, the second one, turnovers. UConn almost double the number of the Hoyas. 19 by Allen and Iverson.
Jim, we talked about that at the start of the show. UConn with a plus 92 turnover assists. Georgetown a minus 157. But today it has been UConn turning the ball over.
That timeout surprised you by Georgetown?
Yeah, it really did. Could have waited for the TV timeout. Come up with another possession. Hey, Allen's been quiet in the second half. Jim hadn't been able to get his shots until there.
Well, 21 now for the game. 58-55 Georgetown.
That was a good play by Fair. Donnie Marshall should have been up on Church. Might have had a steal.
Church 3. 6-point lead.
Church the best of the Georgetown three-point shooters at 34%.
By the way, that 3 by Church was the first one in almost 2.5 games for Georgetown. They did not make one yesterday. Underneath Fair, tipped up. And back to Marshall.
That's Fair's shot. Yes, sir. Nice job by Donnie Marshall. Fair went right to the three-point line.
Iverson.
You let him have those.
Who they call it on the UConn player? They call it on Hayward. Georgetown had missed its last 4 threes in a game last week against St. John's. A game that St. John's won right here at the Garden. Didn't make one yesterday. Did not make one in the first half. And then Church broke an 0 for 16 streak with that one from the corner on the last trip.
0 for 6 yesterday in that ball game. And Jim, I think that that's something that teams, I'm surprised, don't do to this club. This packed zone defense is back inside the foul line. He's getting physical in there now.
Called on Hayward. Well, the madness of the NCAA tournament rolls out Thursday, 12 noon Eastern time. Thursday, Friday, both days starting at noon Eastern. Past midnight in the East, then quadruple header Saturday, triple header Sunday.
Jim, we're going down to the wire, and you know, almost at the halfway point here in the second half. Allen Iverson has been down just 1 minute. Everybody else moving in and out. Connecticut using their 3 guards, keeping everybody fresh. Iverson used to playing a lot of minutes, played 39 in that game against Connecticut down at the Cap Center. So obviously he has great stamina, but fine line there from being at your best or being a little worn out.
So that's something to look for.
Yep, particularly since they played yesterday as well.
Iverson has tied a career high with 8 rebounds. Knight, second jumper of the half.
Ooh, Iverson turned that one over. The ball got caught on his hip.
In the corner, Jock. And offensive rebounds, the story again. Harrington underneath.
Not only offensive rebounds, Jim, but putbacks, easy putbacks.
Fair. Trying to answer, but Georgetown with possession again. Iverson run in the middle. Oh, no-look pass, led him too much.
Now, there's one that brought John Thompson off the bench. He gives him a free hand, but that one killed the big guy. Allen Iverson making one of those summer league passes.
That's only his second turnover of the game.
But Jim, that was a put away. That's one of those darts right to the heart when you make that easy play. Marshall trying to get on track.
Penetrating, drawing the foul against Iverson. So the Big East's leading free throw shooter, Donnie Marshall.
Of course, remember last year in this very game in the semifinals, Connecticut, their outstanding team, went out in the hands of Providence in the semifinals.
1-1. Or they call it a 2-shot. They call it a shooting situation. 80%, almost 81%. And then his teammates right behind. Jaime Peterson of Pittsburgh played a tremendous game yesterday against the Huskies. Had a double-double, I believe 16 points, 15 rebounds.
Now this Connecticut team from the free throw line, something that's a real positive. They shoot 73% as a team with Marshall leading the conference. Here's that 2-2-1 press.
Georgetown 7-point lead down to 2.
Steps. Now what John Thompson's screaming about is, hey, wait a second. The referee that's right under the basket had the angle, and the call was made from cross court. That's the kind of thing a coach can really get on a referee about and not get a tee.
Going the other way, they call it on Shepard, pushing off.
He's just getting frustrated with Iverson right under him all the time. Second time today that he's merely pushed Iverson away. This is just plain frustration. And Iverson does a pretty good act there as well. I guarantee you when he was a quarterback or a punt returner, nobody brought him to the ground that quickly. Could you imagine him returning a punt on the high school level?
Two-sport star was Iverson from Hampton, Virginia.
Beyond a star, the player of the year in football and basketball high school.
And there is again Iverson underneath. 66-62, Georgetown. right fair.
That was a senior taking a freshman to class on that one. Rubbed him right off the screen.
It is average 10 points. Iverson in the lane. Wow. Great move. Reed tries to follow. No whistle. Fair. Picked up by a teammate. Ollie. 2 to tie, 3 for the lead.
Ollie tried to draw the foul on the play. Kind of unlucky there. A player, Jim.
No question. Only a freshman.
Yep, he's a player. Didn't come in with any kind of notoriety. Not many freshmen any better than him. Look at how far back Harrington is staying off the night.
3 knocked down with authority. Donnie Marshall, 68-67 Hoyas. Under 8 minutes to go. With the assists.
And there was a case where Fair tried to draw the charge, but Iverson, even though he goes up in the air a lot, he's under control enough and he's up high enough that he can make the plays. Not fundamentally sound in that move, but his ability overcomes it.
Knight shooting those jumpers out there like Bill Lambier.
Nobody guarding him, Jim. He's got the wide open shot, so he's wisely taking them.
He's in 3 jumpers in this half, 70-69.
I don't mean nobody's guarding because of effort. Just that John Thompson wants Harrington down in that post.
Harrington, he already has a double-double. 21 points, 10 rebounds.
Well, the Harrington we've seen the last couple of weeks, it's a lot different than the one that was in January, talking about a guy that has lost all his skills. I don't know why Knight doesn't go back out on the top of that key and get another easy shot.
Ollie sets it up to Knight. And they may call that one on Knight.
He got by with a walk on the play, Jim, but you know they keep trying. One dribble's too many to get down into that lane when they can get easy jump shots.
CBS Sports coverage will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the road to the Final Four is sponsored by the new Chevy S-Series line of trucks. So new from the inside out, everything else is history. IBM. There's never been a better time to do business with IBM. And by Gillette Sensor XL and the Gillette Series.
Back at the Garden, I'm standing by with Steve Lapis, head coach at Villanova, and later on in the second game of this doubleheader, you will be taking on Providence, a streaking school that is ending its season in quite a stride.
Well, they're playing great right now. I'm sure it's going to be a great basketball game.
What is your biggest concern heading into that game?
Their inside game, Eric Williams and Brown, Troy Brown, those are tough players for us.
You're watching this game. What's your assessment so far?
I tell you, it's a great game. I hope our game's as good as this.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Jim?
Hey, we hope so too, Coach. Thank you, Michelle Tafoya, with us all weekend here at the Big East tournament. Providence beat Villanova in the last week. They'll tangle next.
Providence also beat Connecticut and Syracuse.
3 straight wins.
3 straight wins against top 25 teams.
Ray Allen, pointer, long rebound to Marshall, who brings it back out.
Off the position.
Hayward, hack on the dunk attempt.
Boy, there were some bodies in there. Hayward and Reed really taking up some space in the lane. Take a look how Hayward used his wide body. Reed couldn't get around him, but it was important for Connecticut for Hayward to finish that one. That was very similar, Jim, to some of the baskets he scored in that win at the Cap Center.
First man in foul trouble in this game, 4 on Don Reed. Hayward. One more.
down the lane here going down the wire that favors Connecticut in this game, and that is team free throw shooting.
They're 72-71 Hoyas. Largest lead by any side in this game, 7. In fact, they each have had at one point a 7-point advantage.
Interesting that Al can get the ball up against the press with his size.
Good ball handler.
Yes, he is. He's a very good ball handler. He's smart, creative. He doesn't try to do things that are too wild.
Talk about some of the teams coming back in this conference next year, with Al a freshman, Harrington a junior, Iverson a freshman,
Williams a junior.
And then you look at a team like Villanova with its whole starting 5, if you put Alvin Williams at the point, underclassmen. Hayward with his 5th. At the conclusion of this game, Billy and I will be selecting a genuine Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevrolet donates a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. I would think that those two programs
Jim,
would have to be really highly ranked in the preseason.
The whole league is relatively young when you take a look at the all-conference team. You take a look at the key players in the league. Obviously, the next thing that will be critical, how the freshmen that are incoming next year can complement the guys that return.
UConn now with its starting 5 back on the floor. Harrington at the line for 2. He's made 5 out of 7 today.
Clean free throw shooting, Jim. You saw Hayward make 2 on one end. Almost 10 percentage points differential between these two teams in the line.
They have a pretty good percentage working today. Hoyas, although only 1 of 2 on that trip.
And coming into this game, Connecticut made 44 of 53 free throws against Georgetown in the 2 games. And those were the difference. Church on Allen. In that matchup, Allen should be able to get a shot over it.
Final 5 minutes to go. And last touch by Knight.
No excuse against the man-to-man out-of-bounds situation, not being able to get it in.
21 Connecticut turnovers.
Credit that to a lot of Georgetown's conditioning and hustle, but a lot of it has been bad judgment on the part of Connecticut.
They had a game with a high number of turnovers, similar to this one. The home game against Syracuse this year, where they came back to win against the Orangemen. They forced one right back.
Again, the passing lane really wasn't there, trying to force things down inside. Wondering why Knight doesn't get back up in the foul line and look for his jump shot. There it is. Obviously, he's a little bit beyond the line, but he's not being guarded there. Nice back cut by Shepard.
This tournament has been really tight throughout, except for that Georgetown win against Miami. Georgetown had a handle on that one early. Look at Thursday night. One went to overtime, the other by 3. Yesterday, 3, 4, and 2. In fact, UConn's winning margin of 3 was its closest win of the season. It was the first game all season UConn had won by 3 points or less, which is a bit of an oddity for a team that's won 24 times.
Well, Jim, we could have been in Kansas City yesterday. Iowa State won by 18. Kansas won by, 35. Oklahoma State
45.
won by 45. Oklahoma State won by 20. Oklahoma won by 18. Those were really blowouts in the Big 8. The conference that the RPI index has #1.
Timeout called by Georgetown. They have only 1 remaining. One timeout remaining and a 1-point lead.
Back to the guard.
Georgetown, the 4th team in the regular season in the Big East, leading the regular season champions by 1. 4 minutes to go.
Oh, he called another time, Jim.
That's it.
Georgetown wastes 2 timeouts just trying to get the ball over half court.
And the Hoyas are out of timeouts. 4:06 remaining. Billy, the Hoyas will go the rest of the way without a timeout.
Right, Jim, this is interesting here. There's 20 seconds on the shot clock, but they have 10 full seconds to get it over half court. But they've got to understand now, they've got a very short shot clock here. They need to get one quickly, down to 12 already. They don't realize they got to get a shot off here. Too late.
Boy, what a costly, what an expensive possession. 2 timeouts on that possession, and they come up empty.
Jim, I really don't think that they were mentally prepared for that. You know, that's like playing in the NBA. You get down 20 seconds. They had to go from backcourt to a scoring play in 20 seconds, and you just are accustomed to the full time allotment. Georgetown never set up well to use that possession. And you're right, Jim. 2 timeouts. Wasted 5 seconds there. Lost their timeouts, and then Iverson never could get in position for the shot.
John Jock in for Al. Huskies looking for the lead on this possession.
I still think Knight can get a foul shot jump.
Iverson almost stole it away. Ollie right back to Knight in the lead.
Little give and go by Knight. Again, set up by his positioning on the foul line.
74-73 UConn.
I just think with 3 minutes to go, how you'd like to have one of those timeouts back if you're Georgetown.
Oh, you better believe it. Off of a UConn player.
Iverson just driving into traffic. He takes off with no idea what's going to happen when he gets in there. Hurt his wrist a little bit, Jim. He's holding. He's tough as nails.
Over Sheffer.
Get up, Rome.
And what an effort by Harrington. Go to the line for 2. Looked like the Huskies that time had possession, but Harrington had the heart.
He's having a great game. He's just overpowering people on the inside. Knight's got to put a body on him.
That's the 3rd on Allen. Providence and Villanova next to play here. Providence trying to play its way into the NCAA tournament. We'll be talking about that in the next game. We disagree as to what they have to do to get in. 22 for Harrington today. He'll shoot a couple.
But that's some concentration by Othello on that one. Many times when you just freeze yourself, you spend that much time before you deliver. See if he does it again.
The 0 for Othello.
Nice.
Yes. And Georgetown back in front by 1. 75-74.
You can't fault the Big O today for his effort. He's been tremendous.
The Big O, huh?
He has been the Big O today.
I guess Oscar wouldn't mind if you let someone else carry that moniker.
Well, I didn't mean that Big O.
Tonight, Donnie Marshall found him cutting baseline.
Well, the referees have called it the same on both ends. They're not calling that charge, letting people take it and fall. And Marshall used it to his advantage.
76-75, Connecticut. Iverson.
Oh!
Long rebound to Ollie.
Again, Jim, Iverson going into the pack with no plan. It's one thing to drive in there and dish back out. He just drives in there and throws it up at the basket.
Allen. Oh!
That was a nice set play by Connecticut. Backdoor cut. Church was stuck with Allen with no help on the weak side. year when you consider what a great scorer he is. That's because he's got that pull-up short, 10, 12-foot jumper. Only been to the line 85 times.
Was in a battle for the player of the year in this league with Lawrence Moten of Syracuse, Kerry Kittles of Villanova. Kittles won the honor earlier this week. Now for a three-point advantage.
Gotta get it up quick. Gotta get it up quick. You can't waste time bringing the ball to half court. With no comprehension as to what it means.
And Iverson called for the foul. His third.
John is going to call him over. I'll tell you, the handling of Allen Iverson by John Thompson has been something very interesting to watch. Look at the patience there between the teacher and the pupil. And I think it's a real testimony to John Thompson's intelligence as to how he has actually transformed the way that he's worked with this team, and also with a young man that came in with a lot of things to be thinking about in addition to basketball.
Marshall, who was a perfect 6 for 6 before that one. One more.
Most of us didn't think John was that flexible in terms of changing his philosophy this much. Two-possession game here. They don't need the three yet.
1:15 remaining. Jock over Sheffer. And the loose ball to UConn. Ahead to Allen with Church in pursuit. And that's got to be, we're talking it over.
I think Church went for the ball. It should be strictly a two-shot foul. It was not intentional, and it was not flagrant. Church did the right thing here. He's going for the ball. It was not a violent action.
Well,
he couldn't get to it.
That wasn't going for the ball. That was going for the right.
Well, he couldn't get to it.
You don't think that was intentional?
No. I think he was going to try to go up there and get the ball, and he just couldn't get to it.
One more for Allen. 1:01 remaining.
You didn't agree?
Well, he was 3 feet away from the ball. His hand, when it was extended.
I understand.
It wasn't flagrant, clearly. 80-75, 55 to go.
Got to start thinking three quicker.
Blocked by Marshall.
And Jim, with the penetrating ability of Iverson, I don't know why he doesn't drive into the middle and then dish back outside. They're trying to get threes by throwing the ball on the perimeter, and Connecticut can match that up.
We'll go to the line for two. 44 seconds to go, and again, Georgetown will not be able to operate with a timeout. The last time the Hoyas made a shot from the field, Billy, 7:02 was on the clock. We're at 44 seconds, so 6 minutes and 18 seconds.
And are still in the ball game. I mean, they make these two, and they'll still be one possession away with a three, but they can cut down Connecticut on the possession on the other end. And if you're Connecticut right here, be thinking about getting the ball inbounds. Georgetown may attack on a made shot.
3-point game.
Here they come. Got it in. And a nice play.
Knight all alone.
That was a great play by Connecticut. They took advantage of what Georgetown was going to do to them.
Iverson. 33 seconds remaining. 82-79 Huskies. And that'll send Marshall to the line for two.
Nice job by Donnie Marshall. Looked over the defense, stayed patient.
Well, between games here, we'll be sending it back to Pat O'Brien along with Coach Raveling, Quinn Buckner back in our studios. Marshall 7 out of 8.
Jim, we talked about Connecticut last year getting knocked out in the semis by Providence. They were knocked out of this tournament in the first round 11 times in the 15 years. So, you know, they didn't make it to many finals till Jim Calhoun came along. Didn't make it to any.
It was very thin in the early years of this league, that's for sure. Point lead. Church pulls back 3. Sheffer runs it down.
Throw it long. Well, it was a battle for Connecticut.
Talking about Georgetown, they will be in the NCAA tournament, and they will be a dangerous bunch for anyone to face.
A very tough out because they are so strange in not only the way they play, but you just haven't had an attacking guard like Iverson that you played against all year.
What do you figure, about a 6 seed?
Probably right.
15 seconds. UConn can celebrate. Sheffer at the other end. The Huskies won the regular season by a full 2 games. And now they'll play for the Big East tournament title tomorrow. UConn into the finals. Huskies 88, Hoyas 81. Will play the winner of the Villanova-Providence game, which is coming up next. Billy, the genuine Chevrolet players of the game. Bella Harrington from Georgetown, 24-point, 11-rebound effort. And Ray Allen from Connecticut, also with 24. A check in the amount of $1,000 will be donated to each college's general scholarship fund to further assist qualified students in all chosen academic fields. So, Pat and the gang back in the studio coming up next. We'll be back here shortly. For now, for Billy Packer,